Hey, what's poppin'?
So we have something to talk about, and surely we can all relate on this topic. Something that is not quite anymore to us, but I think most of the people nowadays are faced, especially students, since they are serving the new setup of education, which is the online classes.
Students are facing this new style of learning called online distance learning, or in short, ODL. They are given plenty of worksheets to be done in a week with less information or instruction given by the teachers. They haven't adapted to this kind of learning style, yet the school are giving them dozens of activities to do. This is what causes the student to drain energy and lead to stress.
But how about you, Kurt? What can you say about this new style of learning?
I agree with Ryan's answer actually. Students are spending their time answering the modules given by the teacher. They are not able to sustain the exact amount of nutrients their body needs. Based on the experience, students are doing their bundles of activities given, staying up all night, feeling depressed and worried about the deadline. And if they're giving the correct answer that could satisfy the teacher, given that students have received limited amount of information from the teacher.
So, considering such opinions, what are you guys think factors that is more common cause of stress?
Maybe one cause would be difficulty in understanding each lesson and the pressure they are bringing, since online education is more on a self-paced, are not able, and major subjects like physics are said to be hard, so they are exert time and effort to understand the lesson.
I think that time management is also a factor, because in this kind of setup, both parties, student and teachers, are still adjusting on this new style of learning, and it might be difficult to adapt to it in a short amount of time. So maybe there are distractions, self-problems that would affect them in their home, so they can't balance and manage their time well.
Very well said. So yes, I agree to both of you. Time management and difficulty in understanding the lessons are one of the most common major factors that leads to stress.
Well, in addition, considering that students are given multiple activities per subject, and as Kirk said, difficult in understanding the lesson, they cannot be able to keep up since they are given approximately 9 activities per week. They cannot apply the right sleep and nutrients that their body needs, thus leads to stress.
So Kurt said earlier that students are pressured. So why do you think that students are being pressured, Kurt?
It is connected with time management, since there are set deadlines and standards they must consider, which cause them to feel pressure. Not to mention internet connection. Some students have slow internet connection in their area. Because of this, they are delayed in making their activities, which can also lead to frustration.
Right now, we'll tackle on how we can overcome this stress. What tips can you give that can lessen stress on people who are taking online classes?
Well,
I can give you tips.
and suggestions on how to overcome stress or prevent stress in this situation.
Oh yes, please tell us your suggestions, Ryan.
There are multiple ways to prevent stress in this situation. One of them is creating an effective daily planner that can separate your time in online class and time for eating, sleeping, and physical exercise. This daily planner will represent as your guide to deal with stress. Considering that your daily plan is organized, you have to follow it to avoid stress and pressure, and surely you have the time to do what you want.
Yeah, so that is one very effective way in overcoming stress. So how about you, Kurt?
Some concepts with Ryan, time management is for me the most important way to avoid stress. By doing these things ahead of time, we can avoid cramming. Cramming is basically absorbing information in a short amount of time. Well, to apply this to a student, some of them answering their module 2 days before the deadline. This method can cause pressure and cause stress in the brain, Since you are gathering information in a short amount of time, your brain cannot handle this situation and will overwork, thus lead to fatigue.
So with all the things we discussed today, I think that we must encourage people like the victims of stress to believe in themselves and keep fighting.